Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Prescription for Change. I am your host, Dr. Warden Jarrett, or simply Dr. J. And today we have some exciting news and things to share with you about essential oils. I know a lot of you have been in every store and you see these things in the special corners of and oils, and you see them in diffusers and little roll-ons. And we're going to talk today about, our essential oils, all of that. Are they worth the hype? How can you tell which essential oils are better for you? Are they equal? Are, the more expensive the better, or should we, not spend our money on them? Are they propaganda? So I'm so excited to welcome into our virtual studio today a very, very special individual. Her name is Catherine Grote. She's a certified nurse practitioner who specializes in family medicine, and she has a passion for essential oils. So we're going to welcome her into our studio. And let's welcome Kathy. Yay! Welcome, Kathy, to Prescription for Change. So you're here today because we're going to talk about essential oils. So why don't we start and tell us a little bit about, what are essential oils?
So essential oils are generally not the pollen part. So don't think allergy. Oh no, I'm allergic to them. I'm allergic to flowers. It's actually different parts of the plant that they can use to either distill, either hot or cold. They can press it. They're extracting the oil from parts of the plant. So it's the oil from it. And you can use them different ways. Aromatic, like you were saying, diffusing. You can use them as topical, and you can also ingest them, but that's a little bit not as researched as well as the aromatic and the topical currently.
Okay. Wow. And I see a couple of you have joined us live. We're so glad you took a portion of your day to learn. Feel free to put comments or questions. And if we have time, we can certainly incorporate your questions into our discussion today. All right, Kathy, tell us more about a little bit more about how they're made. I mean, do people just go and pluck flowers and then press them? Like, what is this?
There's it's this is probably a bad analogy, but even we think distilleries, right? We'll let your mind wander in any direction you can with that. But we can do that with the plants. So for example, I have orange with me right now. They take the orange peels, not necessarily the fruit, and they can boil it, distill it, evaporate it, collect the oils from it, and then they break it down into more of a pure, it's essential oil. It's just the oils from the plant. So there's lots of different ways because each plant either needs a hot distillery or a cold distillery or a pressed, like you were saying. Rose oil, based off the top of my knowledge, I think is pressed. I don't think they can actually distill it because it actually degrades part of the oil.
Mm.
So you have to process each different plant differently based off of the chemical. There's a lot of chemistry, which is really cool in science, on how much those molecular components break down.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So tell us a little bit about how expensive are essential oils. Are the most expensive ones better than cheaper ones?
So that's where you have to do some homework and some research. So there are very expensive essential oils. There are very cheap essential oils. You also have to look for is what grade of essential oil is it? Is it certified therapeutic grade, which is what we mostly want if we want health benefits from it,
Mhm.
or there's just aromatic essential oils that I think of my grandmother's home smelled like mothballs. So that smell reminds me of her. So essential oils can be just a smell that brings back good warm feelings, or it can actually do something of benefit to help you in your health. Um, so essential as a cost, there's lots of different grounds, but the main important thing when you're looking for essential oils, I would not base it on the cost. I would base it on, are they reaching out third party companies to do these quality measure checks, to be testing the oils? Are they giving back to the community in which they're harvesting these crops from? Are they over harvesting? Are they overworking people? Are they giving equal opportunity to those people? So pick a
Mhm.
company that gives back and is growing these plants in their natural means. You
Mm.
don't want oils grown on the side of a highway in Oklahoma, right? You want them grown like lavender from France, or there's other countries too that it's popular in. So when you're doing your research, make sure you're picking a company that kind of holds true to your heart and what your beliefs are, and kind of who's more kind of morally, ethically appropriate.
Oh, no, that's well stated. Well stated. So, what are some of these other benefits that you can share with us?
So, like we talked about, the aromatic ways of doing essential oils, those can bring back those good, warm, fuzzy feelings. They can be anything from lavender, where you can just smell it, and it actually works on the serotonin and the chemical receptors in our brain to make you feel better, less anxious.
Whoa, so you're telling me, Kathy, that you can actually smell something and it can change your mood and make you feel like, whoa?
And not just a perfume or fragrance. Yes, it's called crossing the blood-brain barrier.
Oh,
So there
wow.
are I did my grad project on use of aromatherapy for postoperative nausea and vomiting. And the research that we looked at, my partner and I, she was a PACU nurse. She did some different things, even rubbing alcohol, right? Sometimes work when you're feeling a little nauseous. But yeah, but part of the research that we were looking at, FDA, Cleveland Clinic, Hopkins are now all doing research on essential oils to help as alternative measures. Now, is it a cure-all, fix-all for everybody? No, but neither is Tylenol or ibuprofen, right? Sometimes they work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's true, Kathy, because there's sometimes when a person's feeling lethargic or sluggish, sometimes they just need some water. They might be dehydrated. So sometimes it's a simple fix.
It can, or you pick a citrusy oil or a mint oil, and those are rejuvenating and more uplifting.
Oh, I love it. This is
So
so.
here's
I hope you guys are learning. I see some questions coming in, and we're going to certainly get to those. Are all essential oils equal? I've been in the stores. I'm not going to name any particular stores, but let's just say stores that start with the W, the letter W or the letter T. These big stores, or even little ones where everything costs $1, and in even supermarkets, and you can find essential oils in almost every single store. So someone watching our program today may not be familiar with essential oils. So are they all equal?
So no, and stores, again, do your research before you buy anything just willy-nilly. Do your research on that brand, on that company. What are they doing to try to get FDA approval with their labeling and things? Do they have a lot number, an expiration date? Are all the ingredients on there? Because even the food we buy, if it's in small enough quantity, they don't have to put it on the label. So we
Mm.
don't want to buy oils, especially from Amazon. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but you don't want to buy it from places that's not direct, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily know what you're getting. It could be
Mm.
somebody else got a bottle that looked like one you wanted to buy in the store. Oh, but it's cheaper on this other avenue on the computer through this third party. It could just be water with a little bit of orange juice, really, if you got like orange essential oil.
Mm-hmm.
So be really careful. Make sure you're going to the brand that you pick, and do research that you find near and dear to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you want, depending on the purpose, if you want it to help with the blood-brain barrier, you're obviously going to pick a certified therapeutic grade. Make sure it says that essential oil. There are ones that are just for fragrance, like we were saying, or
Mm-hmm.
like little reed diffusers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, aren't the same grade of oil as if you buy it in a bottle.
Got it. So what I'm hearing you say, Kathy, is that if you're going to purchase and get started with essential oils, you need to do your research. You want to get from a reputable company, and you want to basically be able to lay your eyes directly on the label, so essentially read those things before purchasing it, so you can research it, know where it's coming from. If they use, for example, cruelty to animals, or if you found out that they did work where they did child labor or something like that. You
Yeah.
don't want to support those type of companies. And a third party, because you don't have the chance to lay your eyes on that before you purchase it. You're saying to kind of avoid that for essential oils, because these are things that are being breathed into
Yeah.
your respiratory system. These are things that you might ingest or put on your skin that would be absorbed through your integrity. I'm sorry, integrity. I'm saying integrity. I can't speak. Into your skin system. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the point that she's saying. We have to do our research. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about how people can get started.
Um, you could go to one of those stores that we will not name and just look
Mhm.
around at different brands. You could simply Google essential oils. There's a lot of companies out there doing comparisons that you'll find with different brands. And that's where honestly I actually got a lot of information on doing that. I'm like, oh well, I can't really afford this really higher end, but I don't know if it's good or not for me. And as far as is it better, we were talking about, or can I go with a lower end, but I don't necessarily agree with their business avenue.
Mhm. Mhm.
So go. You can do some research. I mean, definitely if you Google where do I get essential oils or brands of essential oils, you can look at the stores that have them, and then go home and do your research and start looking up those specific brands,
Mhm.
or talk to friends and family. I don't know anybody that doesn't or hasn't heard of or used an essential oil.
Mhm.
The word of mouth definitely can help too in helping you to get started.
Awesome, awesome. I know that I know when you actually taught me this when you go camping or if you go to the beach. You know how everyone hates those little bugs and those little sand flies and just ugh, when you're doing picnics. Well, citronella is one of those scents that a lot of bugs just don't like. And so you could take a little portable diffuser with you, and it will get just enough citronella out there to keep the bugs away from you. So when Kathy told me this, me, guys. Like, does it really do all of that? I'm a little skeptical, and I'm like, okay, I mean, it's not going to hurt me. It's not going to kill me to try these essential oils. So I went to the little picnic beach with my little essential oil kit, and lo and behold, skeptical I was at first, it worked. Not one bug bite, not one mosquito bite. No, sand flies weren't around. Just in the area around me where the citron and the family, where the citronella was diffusing. And I know that some people suffer from allergies, and they're congested, and maybe they can't do the nasal sprays. They can't, they don't like the antihistamines because it may make them tired. And so I know there's some essential oils. You can think of things like peppermint, things that kind of, even the massage therapists are using this. You pay $10 for some essential oil, and I'm like, okay, really? But when you go, they do them as add-ons. And when I say $10, I mean they just basically have you do a couple of sniffs. Like 3 sniffs is worth $10, but it opens up your airway and it helps you really it's exciting. So share with us how essential oils can be incorporated into our viewers' wellness routine.
So you brought up camping. I just got back from going camping at a beach, and we have citronella in a little pump bottle
Okay,
mixed
so
with
people
some
are
other,
still camping. You in a tent, or you got a cabin?
a tent
Hardcore, Kathy.
in the sand, lots of sand. Felt like 100 degrees.
Oh my goodness.
But but we sprayed it on us. Everybody else was spraying these aerosols, and I have really bad asthma, so it makes me choke. So I can't do the aerosols.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have really sensitive skin, so it's not like I can put just bug spray on my skin, but I can use this essential oil blend, and we spread it on us. 2 pumps, one in the front, one in the back. We had no problem. Everybody
So do
else was
you
still
make it
doing it.
yourself? Do you put like water and then a couple of drops of citronella?
So I cheat. I buy it from a certain company that I get my oils from, which we'll go over in just a bit. Or you
Okay,
want me
so they say sell. Okay, no, we'll get to that. That's
Yes,
awesome. Oh,
yes.
that's awesome.
And
Okay,
then what were oh, and
you're
then
telling us the health benefits.
for the allergies and things. So they make different combinations or individual. So you can have a blend of different essential oils. So to help you breathe better, they might have a respiratory blend, right? So that's usually a mint with some eucalyptus with maybe some lemon or something else in there to help decrease inflammation and help open everything up. How many of us grew up with our grandparents putting some mint in a pot of water and boiling it and having that rag overhead and just breathing it in? That's essential oils. You're getting the oil from the mint plant. But instead of going to that hassle of growing the mint and putting it and boiling it, you can just diffuse it. You could put a drop in your hand, rub it together, make it nice and warm, and smell it. And that will help open everything up. There's now blends that you can get with basically Vaseline that is a carrier. You can rub that on your chest instead of some other commercial brands of things. And it's just the essential oil. Now you do have to mix it with a carrier oil, and it's only like 1 or 2 drops, not like 10 or 15. It's 1 or 2 for about a tablespoon or two of Vaseline that you can rub then on your chest. We have some people rub it on the baby's feet, right? to
Mhm,
help
mhm.
diffuse
No,
because
no, this really works because I remember one time my kids were very congested. I don't know if it was cold season. This is before COVID, and I remember what you told me about that. And I didn't have a diffuser at the time, but I had an essential oil, and I put a few drops on a paper towel, and then put it under my child's pillow. And the next day, my child was like, "Oh, mommy, I was breathing so well during the night. What was it?" And I was like, "That's mommy's special breathing tonic."
yeah, you can
And
actually put
others,
a drop on the pillowcase. Some people will put some lavender or some eucalyptus or mint right on the corner of the pillowcase.
oh,
So it's
it's
not like
awesome.
right on your face, but you can
Right.
get all the benefits of it.
I love it. Oh my goodness. So share with us your story. I know you're a mom, you're married, you got a cute little dog, and I know you got into these essential oils before your grad study. I mean, you got deeper and more where you can give, professional advice as a nurse practitioner, but share with us a little bit of your story. And then after that, we can probably get to some of these questions.
Okay. So we get colicky kids every once in a while, and that we have family members that we call them baby whisperers, but when they even fail, like, what do I do? Doctors are like, oh, first time mom, they're like, oh, they're just colicky, they'll grow out of it. But 3 months into it kind of gets to be a stretch of like projectile vomiting, unpleasantries on the bottom end, and just rock hard stomach. So I changed my whole diet because we were breastfeeding when my daughter was young.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically tried the whole vacuum cleaner to get her to calm down, the bouncing her to get her to the gas, the gripe waters, things that you could not imagine. We've tried, and we were even Dan pushing the swing, like the little cart, the baby swing, not using the motor but pushing it to try and get it was. So a friend of mine said, hey, try this digestive blend, dilute it with fractionated coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, whatever oil you want. Just put 1 drop, because for kids are more sensitive. So it's not the same ratio, kids to adults. So I put 1 drop in about 2 tablespoons of a carrier oil. I put it on my finger and I rubbed it on her belly. I just massaged her belly with it. The kid slept for like 5 hours. I was super excited. She didn't
Wow.
vomit. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay, there's something to this. We went on a car ride. Every time there's a car ride, it was like a bath and vomit for her.
Ooh, poor
So
thing.
I did the oil on her belly before we'd leave. We made it through a car trip, like an hour. We just did an hour around here.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay. I was very, very skeptical about this. I'm like, they call it CAM therapy, which is alternative therapies to things which is complementary. And I'm like, I still don't know, but it's working for my kid. And that is like a miracle, because we were about ready to buy a really expensive formula that was like everything allergen free. And it's really expensive. And sometimes you just don't have the funds to do that. But for the digestive blend, it was like $20-$30. There's 200 drops in there, and I'm only using 1. And that 2 tablespoons of carrier oil with that 1 drop, that lasted me like 3 weeks.
Wow.
So when you say about expensiveness of the oils, it depends how you're using them and in what manner. So obviously, if you're going to diffuse them, we're going to burn through them a little bit faster, because we need that during certain seasons. But you're not doing that all year round.
Wow, thank you for sharing your story. Yeah, go on. You have more?
Once it worked, then we started with like the citronella. Does not like being out with bugs. Most of us don't, right? He didn't grow up being a camper, and I love going camping. So that was another way that really helped him. And then lavender, I broke that out. And, as new parents, we all have anxieties and we tend to not sleep as well. So I started diffusing that, and that kind of helped the whole household. And then my husband is on board with it, which is huge, because that's a hard shell right there.
Right, right.
So, I mean, to each their own, definitely. I think we're all going to have our own stories with it. You're going to have some fails, some things that don't work, and some things that work. We've now been in a kick of putting some lime in our water, just 1 drop in a full, about 16, 20 ounce water. And it's just really refreshing. It makes you feel better.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Let's take a couple of seconds to get to some of these questions. We have from KU Lightning. At what point are the pure forms of essential oils toxic for the body?
So that you have to go on whatever oil company you choose to go with, look on their website on how to use that oil. They're very detailed. Also, there's textbooks, right? Who would have thought? But there is actually a textbook and an app called Modern Essentials that can help you guide you. It'll tell you how many drops to use of a certain oil. There's not enough research to know when something will make it toxic in your body. It's not like Tylenol that we're like, okay, you can only take this much and it makes your kidneys go bad.
Mhm.
Now, toxic can be different things. It could be if you're using, for example, lemongrass essential oil it's a hot oil. So that can feel like it's burning your skin if there's no carrier to it. So that could mean toxicity because you could get a rash from it. It can make you feel like your skin is burning. So
Mhm.
you don't ever use water to wash an oil off, right? It's not going to work. You have to use soap and another oil to dilute it, and then eventually you can wash it off.
Mhm.
But because ingested forms there's not enough research yet on them. It's mostly like aromatic and topical use for the research currently. Um, it's questionable to use them ingested. So
Mhm.
if you do ingest them, follow that brand on whatever they're saying in their website. Make sure it's third party based, and what they're recommending. I don't have a specific answer for that one. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's good. You said here, additionally, we already answered that. Can they be placed on the skin? Yes, with a carrier. So you don't just put them out the bottle and on your skin. There's a nice carrier, like you said,
Yeah.
olive oil, um,
Fractionated
co-
coconut oil,
coconut oil.
almond oil, vitamin E, even I've used.
And those you can just pick up anywhere, and they tend to be
Yeah.
a little bit cost efficient. And you
And
just
we all have extra virgin olive oils.
yeah, yeah, very good.
It's good for the skin too.
There you go. Let's see. She says, what are oils that provide a better mental space?
So it depends what you want to do with that mental space. Is it anxiety driven, or do you just want like a focus and attention? Again, use the app and it will tell you. Usually lavender is almost always in there to help calm your mind down. But depending on your personality, maybe you need that citrusy in there to kind of give you, we're all working a lot,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we need sometimes a boost of energy. So maybe adding some orange or a citrusy with a mint and then a lavender will be the right blend. You kind of gotta, it's kind of like a recipe, you kind of fine tune. But there are blended oils with a whole bunch of varieties of oils in them to help you with different things. Like the company I use has In Tune or Focus, or um, there's a whole slew of them. But depending what you're looking for mental space, there's a right blend for that.
Okay, and you just mentioned the company you use. Someone says, I see that Kathy has doTERRA. This is AJ Ward 3. He says, I see Kathy has doTERRA in the background. Is that the best brand to buy because they are pure?
No, there are other brands that are pure as well. I personally chose as doTERRA because they're trying to get FDA approval. The last thing I heard, they have an expiration date, they have a lot number that you can go to their third party company, and they have the weird, I don't know what this is called, the little square thing with the QR, QR something.
QRL code.
Yes, that you can actually scan that and you can see where this oil came from, who certified it there in the natural environment, and then the third party testing on all of it on the purity. So I use them because I know they do lots of programs to give back. They don't overproduce in one area. So remind me the whole question. Like,
Yeah,
are they all pure? So
yes.
no. Like I was saying, if you go to other places, they might not be from a plant, like I was saying earlier, that is grown in its natural environment. So
Mm-hmm.
think about your garden. Would you want pesticides in your garden, or would you want to just be able to go out there and eat your produce? You can spray oregano essential oil with some castile soap around plants, and it gets rid of bugs,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be better. So think about, it's the same kind of concept. You wouldn't want to use a company that's using a lot of things that are unclean and natural to the planet, because you don't want them on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So pick a company that actually promotes the pureness. Oh, there's my munchkin.
Yeah, hi. All right, then we
Sorry.
have, no, you're fine. Edward Washington says, are essential oils basically for women, or can men use them too?
No, men can definitely use them. So there's also ones for muscle aches and pains. So we could all, let's face it, use a little bit of something to help with some muscle aches and pains. My husband actually uses those more frequently, and he'll put heat on his back or whatever thing is ailing him, and then we'll massage that oil in there. The lemongrass is perfect for that. Men can also benefit from everything that a woman does. Just because your XY chromosome doesn't mean XX is any different, right? So all of these, the citruses can help. If you're feeling anxiety, like I was saying, or need help with sleeping, the vetiver's, the cedar woods, and then the lavender. Well, she's so distracted.
That's all right. Working moms. We do it all. We do it all.
What's not seen is my husband is crawling like a snake on the floor behind me. I hear him, so he's
We
not
saw
in the
his head
video.
pop through. Hey, we keep it real on this program. It is what it is. So AJ Warden 3 says, and this is our last question, if someone is brand new to essential oils, is there a kit that they should buy with basic key oils?
So yeah, again, look at the brands. I know doTERRA does too. You can just go right on the website and look at kits, and you can look, there's an introductory kit. They actually give you a little pamphlet on how each oil is used.
Mm-hmm.
Or can be used. I'm sure other companies do the same thing, because you want to teach people about how to use the oil appropriately. You don't want to just sell people an oil and ditch them with it. Like that would not be good. If that you're finding that and you're not getting good information from the brand you chose, then it probably need to pick a different brand. Like I was showing you a little bit earlier, like doTERRA has like a whole wheel of things that you can, there's so much educational stuff you can find. The other, like Young Living, and those are the two popular ones that we hear about. They have educational stuff too, but just look and see what's near and dear to you. And as far as where you want to get your oils from, what is economically okay for you to be spending, and then where do they source everything?
Mm-hmm. All right. We put Young Living there so you can see that, guys. And then another one she mentioned was doTERRA. So here's doTERRA. And I guess you can just Google these terms and something should pop up that you can research. And these are just two brands that Kathy has highlighted for us today. Awesome. We actually have someone saying this is very informative. Thank you so much. We love those positive comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we are about to conclude our program for today. And we thank you for joining us. And with Prescription for Change, we always have a platform of, with discipline, organization, and consistency, you can have a better quality and enhance your living. And so today's focus was trying to get that mental health space in a good place by incorporating some essential oils. So always remember to do your research, purchase products that are dear to basically your own political or social justice realm, because not all companies kind of do business the same way. And so if that's important to you, you want to definitely buy products that align with your political and ethical agenda, so to speak. And remember, you can do diffusing, you can put some topicals when blended, and in some cases ingesting. Always do your research. There's still research ongoing, so I bet there's more to come in the camp of essential oils, but we think that they have a place in your home. So looking to see how you can incorporate this into your well-being. That's it for now, folks. We thank you for joining us. And I'm Dr. J, and you have just been watching Prescription for Change. Have a great day.